Now, managing your Mito condition at school. Schools and teachers do have a responsibility to adapt and include our Mito children in the classroom, identifying key issues and working with the teachers at the beginning of each year to problem solve will help the teachers realise that small, simple improvements can make a huge difference in the Mito child's day. 3 areas I think that can be managed at a classroom level: managing fatigue at school, maintaining a consistent temperature, and inclusion and management in school activities and events. Dealing with fatigue at school. Schools can help children with Mito to manage their fatigue by considering that they may need to move in a classroom. They may need to change their positions. An option may be providing a beanbag, a chair up against a wall, or putting the wheelchair next to a chair so they can adjust their position. Another way of helping manage the fatigue in the classroom is by having the wheelchair, as we mentioned, in the classroom, and maybe allocating a peer to help with transporting the child around the school if they're feeling fatigued themselves. Having access to tablets and daily IT supports on a daily basis, helping to combat fatigue, which is very apparent in the afternoons at school. Options when tired. Now, some options may include an option for lunchtime. Maybe a library might be able to be used if the child doesn't feel they want to participate in activities that are occurring in lunchtime. Meal supervision, or a place to eat in privacy to deal with maybe issues with eating, chewing, or just health conditions of the day. Snacks and fluids outside designated meal times. That's certainly something that needs to be mentioned and possibly put into a plan. And a place allocated for rest or privacy when the child is feeling that their energy stores are becoming low, or if they're showing signs and symptoms, and a plan and boundaries put in around this if it is going to be a sick bay area. Event options and PE options, extra support on those days to help manage energy expenditure. Now, participation in sport. Teachers can assist the child to participate actively or as a helper. Encourage the teacher to understand a Mito child's exercise limitations and to not push beyond those limitations. Sport participation may not be a daily event for a child with Mito disease, and it certainly may have to be planned if there is to be assessments around physical education. Now, planning for excursions. Plan for physical education, as we just said, PE in the classes, and planning for events. If it's to be a cross-country event, then having a process of inclusion, which may be being in the wheelchair and just doing one lap on a flat area, but a plan needs to be put in place and discussed with the parents. Temperature variations. Schools can help children with Mito to manage challenges with temperature variations by considering that they may need to be placed in classrooms that have controlled temperatures, such as with an air conditioner. Time outside needs to be considered and managed. And if they are to be outside, then of course clothing, long sleeve clothing, hats, and nil direct sun exposure for our Mito children. Now, extra information to relay to the teachers in schools. A Mito child will have varying energy levels, and it will vary hour by hour and day by day. A Mito child will have more than one condition of concern. A Mito child will show energy depletion by extra muscle weakness, maybe nausea, vomiting, not sitting up in class, or not being able to write, and some even by exhibiting breathing issues. Energy depletion may also show in a lack of concentration, perseverance, and behavioural changes. They may have a lot more days off, may have more time in hospital. So schoolwork outside the normal hours may need to be distributed to the family. So a plan certainly needs to be in place to cover that extra time away from the classroom. So these are just a few considerations for the Mito child and family.